Number one, most common mistake made by police officers in grounded uses of force is what we call premature pronation. This occurs when the officer hasn't learned basic ground control and or the 100-second rule. Here we have an officer who gets the subject on his back, but then immediately attempts to pronate the subject as indicated by the two arms controlling the wrist and elbow of the subject, but as soon as the subject pronates, he immediately builds the house, stands up, and runs away as the officer draws his weapon and chases after. At the very least, every officer must understand three primary ground controls: kneeling control, side control, and mount control, as well as the advantages and disadvantages of each position. Kneeling control gives an officer the ability to survey their surroundings while controlling the subject with their knee. Due to the limited body contact, however, the officer will often struggle to maintain control if the subject is larger and determined to get up. Side control gives the officer a greater degree of control, particularly against larger subjects, because the officer's center of gravity is lower and their base points are wider. But in this position, the officer's ability to survey their surroundings is significantly reduced. Mount control also limits visibility, but can be very effective for control if the officer is properly trained on how to use their legs or hooks to prevent lateral escapes. Weapon retention must be prioritized in all core positions. This can be from underhooks, wrist pins, or any other methods of arm control designed to limit mobility and access to the officer's duty belt. Regardless of the method of control used, the 100-second rule teaches that the subject should not be pronated until after their will to fight has been drastically, if not entirely, reduced. Unfortunately, poor training provided by police departments and failing to understand the 100-second rule increases the risk of injury to all parties in a use of force encounter.
You guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Not every police officer needs to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but every police officer needs to understand the basics of ground survival and ground control. Join us at gracieuniversity.com/GST and let's make sure the officers within your agencies are well equipped for worst case scenarios.